Hey everybody, this is Matty here with Altcoin Buzz. Hope you're doing well. We've got some big news today out of Washington, official news. Of course, there's all this talk of whether or not the crypto market is being manipulated. We're going to take a look at that. We're going to take a look at a couple of new services, a couple of new crypto trading companies that have set themselves up. And of course, we're going to take a look at some exposure that we've seen recently in mainstream media and in the more casual side of things. We're going to get to that at the end of the video. But beginning here with an article by Licia, as always on altcoinbuzz.io. Is Bitcoin price being manipulated? The US is set to find out. So this is the major story of the day. It's been making waves since this morning. The US Department of Justice, DoJ, wants to find out whether digital currency prices are subject to manipulation, reports Bloomberg, which cites anonymous sources. Now, guys, if you've ever perused through the comments section of Altcoin Buzz, some of our videos that we put out, or really any other YouTube channel, you're going to get a sense of the zeitgeist of the viewership, right? And that's really the number one, I would say, complaint about the crypto market is that there's a sense that it's manipulated, it's controlled, and even if not illegally so, like there is a large concentration of power in a relatively small number of hands just by ownership, right? So whether or not it's criminal, whether or not it's just that concentration, we're trying to get to the bottom of that. So I see this as good news. The US authorities have long been worried about what is happening on the crypto market. And you go back in time, you have the CFTC that came down and said Bitcoin is a commodity. And then fast forward a couple of years in 2017, and the SEC said, no, we're not so sure about that. They're still deliberating on the status of Ethereum, of course. But right now, Licia, as she writes, the magnitude of concern is different. Thus, the DOJ has opened a criminal probe and is cooperating with the CFTC. The investigation will look into multiple illegal practices used for price manipulation, most notably spoofing and wash trading, which the DOJ believes are being employed in the crypto market. So Bloomberg writes, authorities worry that virtual currencies are susceptible to fraud for multiple reasons. There's skepticism that all exchanges are actively pursuing cheaters, wild price swings that could make it easy to push valuations around, and a lack of regulations like the ones that govern stocks and other assets. And guys, even in those markets, in the more mature, the more regulated stocks and bonds markets, even with all those rules and standardized regulations in place, there's still manipulation. There's still criminal activity that people are prosecuted for. So why wouldn't you expect in an unregulated market that there would be manipulation and criminal activity? To me, it's a no-brainer. So, we can go on here to read a little bit and you have to explore it more on your own, but the Winklevoss twins are involved. They've said some things. There's an article here by Zero Hedge that we're going to link to. Again, concentration of power in a relatively small number of hands. So the studies suggest that 1,000 people own 40% of the Bitcoin market. So even if they've acquired that Bitcoin legally, that's still a lot of manipulation and a lot of potential power that they wield just by virtue of that ownership. So at the same time, the US government's actions once again show how controversial the crypto market is. Some countries like China, they've banned cryptos altogether. Others like Japan and the Philippines attempt to regulate them. And some countries like Ukraine are looking to legalize them. Of course, we've covered recently some countries are wanting to institute crypto into their central banks and issue state-sponsored coins. So you have, it runs the gamut completely. So at the time of this publication, Bitcoin was trading at $7,349. What do you guys think about this? Is this a good thing? Is this going to spook investors even more? I would kind of like to get to the bottom of it. And if there is solid manipulation that we can point to, that we can persecute criminals for, then I would like to think that's a positive, although there may be some shocks in the market, certainly, as a result. We're going to link here to the original Bloomberg article. So they broke this news earlier in the day. Take a look at that. We encourage you to check that out. The link will be below. Same with CNBC. U.S. Justice Department reportedly opens criminal investigation into Bitcoin price manipulation. I think this could be a positive development, but let's stay on top of that. And then, of course, I mentioned it. You have an article here by Zero Hedge. DOJ launches criminal probe into Bitcoin price manipulation. Always nice to get news from different perspectives, right? And it sort of like averages out the bias. That's how I like to treat things. So do be sure to check those out. We're going to link in the description below. In other news, Lightspeed wants to join crypto world but doesn't know how. Another article by Licia. So Lightspeed, they're a venture partners firm, a Silicon Valley firm known for investing in hit apps like Snapchat, is set to create a crypto fund according to people close to the firm, reports Recode. The problem, however, is that it still does not know how to do it. Okay, so Lightspeed has had some mixed success and some mixed activity in the world of crypto. Reports suggest that they're now getting back into the game and going full steam ahead. So the company spokesman said, "We've been making many investments in the fintech space over the last several years, including Affirm, blockchain basis, and more that are unannounced. Blockchain-based technologies are a huge area of interest for us, and we have partners focused on this. In terms of a dedicated crypto fund, we have nothing to announce at this time." Okay, so it looks as though they're not entirely sure what strategy they're going to pursue, but there are a few that are posited here. So one option is to simply carve out the funds specifically for crypto investments and then publicize it, similar to how Kleiner Perkins, Caulfield, and Beers set up the iFund to invest in Apple-related projects, and Accel set up big data funds to invest in aligned startups. So that may be one option for Lightspeed. We're not entirely sure. This is speculation. There's another chance that the company will create a new fund altogether, just like Andreessen Horowitz, one of the leading venture capital firms when it comes to investing in digital currencies, the way that they did. That's also a possibility. And it could also be that one of their partners, Aaron Battalion, will choose to step down and as the general partner and create an entity of his own. So that's entirely possible as well. Just separate the crypto operations altogether. So Alicia writes that Recode emphasizes that Lightspeed's struggle to decide how to best create a crypto fund is typical for many Silicon Valley top-tier firms, which are willing to benefit from the technological advances. Let's keep an eye on that. That could be pretty interesting to see what direction that they move in. If you want to check out the Lightspeed homepage, we're going to link to that here. If you want to check out the article that was released by Recode that's exploring this and speculating on the different avenues that they may want to pursue in terms of tackling a crypto exchange, you can look at that original article here. In other investment news, Circle. They invest, Circle Invest makes trading easy. Article by Chris. So we talked about Circle a little while ago. They're trying to get into the game. So Circle Invest allows investors to easily buy the market by purchasing all 7 coins available on their platform in one transaction, allocations based on current weighted market cap. So that's a pretty cool feature. Essentially what it is that Circle has 7 different crypto projects that they're selling. So they're selling Bitcoin, Ethereum Classic, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, Monero, Zcash with no fees and instant purchases. And what you can do is you can go ahead and you can buy an index, essentially a weighted index of all those different 7 projects at once with different distributions and different weightings. So buy the market simplifies investing in cryptocurrencies. You can choose the amount of money you want to invest and you can get a percentage of all 7 coins based on the current weighted market cap. So it's sort of like an index fund allowing you to purchase a pool of funds in one purchase with a predetermined allocation. Pretty interesting idea. Unfortunately, at the moment, it seems like this is limited in terms of being able to move monies around. So cryptocurrencies are kind of locked in to this Circle platform. And I don't think it allows for cross-wallet exchanges, so taking money out and investing crypto back in. So that's something that hopefully they're going to resolve in time. At the moment, the service is only available in the US. But hey, you can go in with a low minimum purchase amount of only $10. So that's a pretty interesting, an interesting offering, an interesting product that I think is versatile. I think this is fresh and new. And it's possible that this down the line, if it grows and it matures nicely, could be a little bit of a threat competitively to Coinbase. So let's see about that. You can see the breakdown here. Bitcoin is weighted more heavily at almost 58%, followed by Ethereum 28%. And we go down the line all the way to Zcash at just over 0.5%. What do you guys think about Circle? These guys are backed by Goldman Sachs. We talked about that in the past. So they do have some institutional weight behind them, and that could be something that works in their favor as Goldman Sachs continues its they're continuing their projection of enthusiasm. They're projecting more and more the fact that they are into crypto, that they're excited about it. And this could be one of their pet projects that they really want to see succeed. So depending on how much they're prioritizing it, good things could be in Circle's future. So let's keep an eye on that. I think the buy the market option is also pretty cool. If you want to take a look here, blog.circle.com, take a deeper look at that particular project, the particular option of buying the market. We're going to link to that in the description, of course. In other news by Garrett, he writes about Brave browser, which surpasses 5 million downloads on Google Play Store. So I'm using Brave browser. It was recommended to me to always use Brave browser when filming these news recap videos for a lot of reasons. It's easy to use. It blocks out a lot of ads. It saves you time. It's more privacy centered. And of course, Brave is a blockchain backed browser. It's a blockchain project. So the Brave browser, the crypto powered browser aiming to become the future of internet browsing, blows past 5 million downloads. So Brave project, it came on the scene a couple of years ago, and it was founded on May 28th, 2015. It launched its ICO a couple years later in May 2017, and check this out, passed the 1 million download milestone 6 months ago. So we're from 1 million to 5 million in only 6 months. This is also pretty cool. When Brave's ICO went live, so this is a year ago in May 2017, it raised $36 million in 30 seconds. I think I would call that a success. Not too bad. So you can take a look here. If you're not already using Brave, you may want to check it out depending on how you use your internet browser. But I'm new to it, and I've been quite pleased with its functionality, with its speed, all kinds of different things. So congratulations to Brave. That's a big accomplishment. Brave, of course, is something that makes use of blockchain. So they've clearly experienced exponential adoption since its founding. Yes, this is because of a bunch of partnerships with the Dow Jones Media Group. And importantly, they have an affiliation with the Basic Attention Token, of course. So Brave browser allows users to contribute to content creators with that particular token. So furthermore, content creators using Brave can receive much higher percentages of revenue from using BAT compared to the traditional fiat payout percentages on conventional content mediums. And currently, 14,000 content publishers have been verified to receive BAT payments for their content. So this is a blockchain that's often referred to as the Internet of Value. The Brave browser embraces this and is aiming to create a browsing experience where content creators can be compensated in BAT for their content. With this monetary incentive for content creators, it will be interesting to see if Brave ends up challenging traditional internet browsers. What do you think about that? It's look, so far my experience has been positive. I'm not an expert in in computer science or internet browsers for that matter, but I think it's been functionally pretty impressive so far. And look, I'd be curious to know if any of you soldiers out there in the Altcoin Buzz Army use Brave. What do you think about that? What do you think about the incentive structure? I'd be happy to hear your thoughts below. And in other news, I'm not going to be able to play this video, but this was a cool piece of mainstream media exposure. So you have the Ellen DeGeneres show, and Ellen is very involved in her Ellen DeGeneres Wildlife Fund. And apparently, I wasn't aware of this, but very involved in species conservation, in wildlife conservation. And what you have here, the guy in the middle is Ashton Kutcher. So he teams up with Ripple and with Sound Ventures. And you have this on the air. I don't know if it is exactly live, but it was a spontaneous donation of $4 million to the Ellen DeGeneres Wildlife Fund. And as you can see, advertised big time in the back. I'm just not playing it, guys, because I want to play it safe with copyright regulations on this channel. We're going to link to this video. You can check it out in the description below. But you have Ashton Kutcher that pulls out a phone and says, Ellen, you're one of the most altruistic, selfless people that I know. I wanted to team up with Ripple. I wanted to team up with Sound Ventures. And through the XRP technology, we're going to donate $4 million to your efforts to save the gorillas, the Rwandan gorillas. And he picks up his phone. It's live cast on the screen in back of him. He just clicks, she clicks rather, the transfer button, $4 million, just like that. The audience gasps. Everybody's, taken aback and impressed by the technology. And it's just a cool little, promo piece for the technology, of course, for her wildlife efforts. That's admirable as well. But a nice big promotional piece for Ripple here. And I think they transferred $4 million US into 3 point something billion Rwandan francs. I could be wrong about that, but something in that neighborhood. And it was just a very, very nice, very tight demonstration of the technology. Ellen has now done a couple of pieces like this, a couple of little features on blockchain. So it's encouraging to see that. And if anything, this is going to raise, some eyebrows and turn some heads. So do check out the video in the description. It's a nice positive piece of news that we've seen in the media. And for other news, guys, do be sure to follow Altcoin Buzz News. We're always alerting you to the latest and greatest, including any updates that are going to follow with this most important case, referring, of course, to the Department of Justice looking into cryptocurrency manipulation. If you like this video, leave us a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel by clicking the bell. As a subscriber, you're alerted via notifications to all the new content. We put out new videos every day. Soldiers of the Altcoin Buzz Army, I wish you happy investing. Leave us a comment below. Let us know your thoughts, and we'll see you again soon. Take care.